things change things. This year, for millions of fans, the Tour de France is more than a race. It's a way to connect, celebrate, and be inspired. With live data tracking, predictive analytics, and intelligent solutions, we bring people closer to the action, from wherever we are to wherever they are. And that's a great thing.
We have a limited amount of time on Earth. Leaving the world a slightly better place is what we should all strive to do.
As a society, we've got a real opportunity to reimagine what the future is going to be. When communities go through something as devastating as a pandemic, they need something that brings them together, something to hold on to. Sport gives us that rallying cry.
Zwift is this magical place. We created a 3D world where we can build communities and augment what we all enjoy about professional cycling.
We were really excited about the opportunity to work with Zwift, and we love doing innovative experiences for fans.
Partners like NTT make, viewing Zwift more engaging, more interesting, showing how data could enrich the experience for the viewers. All of what we do is data-driven.
Esports is really coming into its own in terms of being a legitimate sport that's not just for entertainment, but is much closer to the traditional sports we've come to know and love.
Zwift is on that journey to bring athletic esports to the highest level. We've already made some of the baby steps of being a discipline of cycling in partnership with the UCI. Broadcasted around the world to 120 different countries, but I think that's only the beginning.
As the announcement came about the first ever Esports World Championships, I thought, well, I want it, but I'm really happy and really proud that I managed to turn what was a very difficult and negative situation into a really big positive by embracing virtual cycling and ending off the year by being the first ever Esports World Champion.
A superb demonstration.
With NTT, we've worked to create this new value that's super interesting and super unique to Zwift. This is a concept where, through data we can capture how efficient a rider is. By looking at the Zwift efficiency rating, you can tell that there is real skill involved.
These numbers were everything, in terms of the virtual world, because it's essentially all these numbers that power the avatar, to literally to move forward. So I think that's one of the biggest sort of reasons why people found it super interesting to watch.
Diversity and equity and inclusion is an important topic for us. We're very proud of the work that we've done so far with the partners that we have, ensure there's parity. We'll continue to invest in that.
Waking up early sucks, especially when it's still dark outside. But for some like Qhubeka, choices are limited. Getting to school takes time and lots of it. This makes it hard to focus during important moments and leaves Qhubeka little time for play. Many people like Qhubeka and her family don't have access to transport. This means they can't easily get to the places they need to go, like schools, parks, clinics, and shops. And so Qhubeka was born. With your donations, big or small, we are able to build bicycles for the people who need them most, giving individuals like our bright little Qhubeka the ultimate gift: time. Change a life today with Qhubeka.
Hey everybody, good evening and welcome. Happy World Bicycle Day. My name is Max Kluwer and I'll be your host tonight for the very first NTT community ride for Qhubeka. What a great day it is, a day to celebrate the bicycle, the history of the bicycle, the simplicity of the bicycle, and just the freedom and independence that a bicycle gives you. Tonight is all about getting together with like-minded people, getting out on our bicycles and enjoying a ride. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's on the Zwift platform in Watopia. It's the Hilly route, and this of course was one of the first routes ever put together by the team from Zwift. So really excited. Tonight as well, we're going to be celebrating Qhubeka. Qhubeka obviously is the program that's put in place. Bicycles change lives. It's the ability to mobilize communities, mobilize children, health workers, teachers with the bicycle. And that is just how simple it is. So tonight it's all about celebrating that. It's all about having some fun. We've got some incredible guests here tonight who will be riding with you, talking to you, and obviously not only people riding on the Zwift platform, but people engaging with us from around the world via the live stream. So to all of you this evening, a very big welcome on behalf of NTT and Qhubeka, and we really hope that this platform will be used in the way that it's intended, and that of course is to raise awareness and funds for Qhubeka. Don't forget that throughout the program this evening we'll be putting a QR code up on screen that will help you then go straight into the Qhubeka Give and Gain platform, where you can go and donate any amount of money, whatever you feel is for you today, and that of course will go 100% to Qhubeka, mobilizing communities, children, health workers and kids in school. So very excited about that. So obviously World Bicycle Day put together by the United Nations, and it's just a day to celebrate the bicycle. It's a day where those of you who ride will know the simplicity behind this incredible thing that has just actually not changed very much over the last 2 centuries. So very excited about that. To all of you tuning in, to those of you getting ready for the ride will start at 8 o'clock this evening. We've got a little bit going on before then. We're going to chat to a couple of the guests, introduce you to our amazing guests here tonight. But I think before we do that, what I would like to do is introduce you to Anthony Fitzhenry. Anthony Fitzhenry, of course, is the founder of Qhubeka and the Bicycle Changes Lives program. Everything that he has done, his team has done, and all the charities and the corporates and the people and individuals that have supported this charity have got this charity to where it is today. Obviously, Qhubeka is one of the 5 charities of the Tour de France as well, which is exciting. Without further ado, a welcome message and thank you from the founder of Qhubeka, Anthony Fitzhenry.
My name is Anthony Fitzhenry. I'm the founder of the Qhubeka charity. Qhubeka has been around for 17 years, and during that period of time we have donated over 105,000 bicycles to communities in Africa. Qhubeka is a South African word that means to progress or to move forward. Bicycles help people move forward and change their lives. People on bicycles travel faster and further and carry more. Bicycles are an accessible, reliable, affordable form of transport. It's World Bicycle Day today, which is appropriate to celebrate given our love for cycling and the work that we do. For recipients, the bicycle represents so much more than simply a bike. Bicycles improve people's access to education, economic opportunity, and healthcare. In the face of extreme and persistent poverty, bicycles immediately address socio-economic challenges at the most basic level by helping people, goods, and services get to where they need to go. Our bicycle programs are a hand up and not a handout. Every recipient earns their bicycle in return for certain positive behavior. For example, scholars are required to improve their attendance and their grades. Thank you for supporting and for joining us today on Zwift. If you haven't already, I encourage you to donate.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Anthony Fitzhenry, for that incredible message. I like the winter beard going into winter in South Africa, and we really do appreciate that message from you and the team at Qhubeka. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I think what is important is to introduce to you our 5 guests this evening. Our 5 guests this evening from all around the world, and there they are with us on screen. Exciting to have you all. You'll see in the top middle of the screen is, of course, Ashleigh Moolman Pasio. Ashleigh, fantastic to have you here with us this evening. Ashleigh, of course, from Team SD Works, multiple South African champion, but also the current UCI Cycling Esports World Champion. Right next to her on the right-hand side, hi Ash. Right next to her on the right-hand side, you'll see Mark Renshaw. Mark, great to have you, ex-Pro Cyclist for Team Dimension Data, a stunning career from 2004, and really cool to have him here. Both of them will be your lead riders today. Hey Mark, how's it going? Then we go to the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and there you'll see Yann Le Moenner, the CEO of A.S.O, the Amaury Sports Organization, owners and organizers, of course, the Tour de France. Yann, great to have you with us. Thank you for tuning in with us this evening. In the middle, you'll see the legend Tony Kannan from Chip Ganassi Racing, your 2003 INDYCAR 500 champion, your 2004 INDYCAR Series championship winner. Tony, great to have you with us this evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And last but not least, bottom right-hand corner, Douglas Ryder, team principal of Team Assos Qhubeka. Dougie, great to have you with us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to see your success at the Giro over the last few weeks. We're super, super proud, and we hope that you'll all enjoy the ride with us this evening, guys. So get at it. We know we're going to start in about 8 minutes' time. Keep on warming up. And what we'll do is we're going to go across quickly now and have a look at the route for this evening. The route, obviously, critically important. And I think maybe what I want to do quickly is cut across to Ashleigh because she is the ride leader, and maybe perhaps ask her about some tips for today's route before we go into the VT, which is a little fly-through of the route. And then, of course, we're also going to have a look at the profile of the route today. So let's split across to Ashleigh, and let's see if we can bring her in. There she is, Ash. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Max. I'm very well, thanks. And you?
Very well, thanks, Ash. Your hot tip for today's route, Ash, it's 3 loops of the hilly route and 9 kilometers per lap. Tell us what your hot tip is for today before I take them through the route profile.
Well, there's a climb that comes quite early in the course. So I think from my side, I think it would be great if we could all regroup at the top of the climbs, so that we stay together more or less and keep it a fun ride. And then, yeah, just to enjoy it. Again, every time there's a climb, I think it's really nice to regroup after them. And then the last time up, the final climb, we can go full gas for the top and have some fun.
Fantastic, Ash. Thanks so much. Let's go quickly and have a look at that VT of the route. You'll see Ashleigh in game in the world of Zwift. There she is in her World Championship jersey, where she became winner of the very first UCI Esports Cycling World Championships in 2020. The start, of course, just goes straight into a climb. You haven't got a lot of respite. You've got to be warm off the start line, and then you start moving up towards what is called the Hilly KOM forward. Here, you really got to work. Remember, there's 3 climbs before you get to the hot spot at the top of the hill. On lap 3, that is going to be very important for you. After that, you go down the descent kicker, and this, of course, just about 100 meters before you move across to the bump before the village. And this is important for you because here's a little opportunity for you to rest as you get ready now to move through to that little sprint segment, which is coming your way. You'll see the green arch right there. That is the sprint segment on every lap. Remember to try and keep it together as much as possible. You'll be going over the S's ramp, and from here, you move proper into the course. The S's ramp about 300 meters long before you go into what they call the S's proper. And this is about 1.7 kilometers of rolling terrain. You'll see it's up and down. It's very bendy. They call it the S's for a reason. Little curves there. And here's an opportunity again for you just to rest and get ready, because you know going on to that next lap, you're going to go climbing straight away. There's the volcano for you. That's the indication for your right-hander before the finish. And there's about 300 meters from there through to the finish line, which you'll see right in front of you. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Ash, for taking us through that virtually with your avatar. We really, really do appreciate it. That's exactly what it looks like. Let's go quickly now and have a look at that route profile, everybody. So there it is. You can see it right there. Length 9.1 kilometers. Remember, we're going to be doing 3 laps. So 9:18, 27.3 Ks. Elevation of 100 meters per lap. And there's a little short lead-in of 0.5 kilometers. So exciting. very cool to see, and we actually just cannot wait to get started. We've had Ashleigh's hot tip for the day. We've gone through the fly-through, and we're actually just going to get everything ready now to get moving. So how does this all work today? Let's get back to the studio and tell you a little bit more. So how it works during the course of today and up until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, in fact, which is Friday, we have a QR code which is set up on the Give and Gain platform, which you guys would have all received in your correspondence and seen through the social media channels. That QR code looks something like this. And all you need to do, wherever you are in the world, whether you're watching or riding, just grab your phone, put your phone in camera mode, hold it over that QR code. That'll take you immediately to the Give and Gain platform, and there you can go and donate to Qhubeka during this World Bicycle Day event. So very simple, very exciting. We're going to be reminding you about that throughout the evening as well. But remember, that will be open for you until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So right now, guys, it's nearly time to get across to the start line, and very cool to have everyone here and to see everybody here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and check and see what is happening at the start line, and we're going to zoom into that start line now while we do that. And what you're going to see is them on the start line. There are all the riders, some amazing sign-ups here today, over 600 pre-sign-ups for the ride today, and right there on the start line you can see the World Championship jersey of Ashleigh Moolman Pasio. So really cool to see that, and exciting to see that everyone is getting ready and rocking and rolling. So what's important right now, of course, is to talk about the route and to get ready. Anybody who wants to talk to us throughout the evening, anybody who's watching the live stream, there is a comment on the YouTube. Send those comments through to us, especially when we're talking to one of our incredible guests here this evening, and we'll try and get those comments through to them and ask them those questions during the course of the evening. So very, very easy to do and very, very simple to do as well. So quite exciting. And what we're going to do now is keep visual on the start line. You'll see the people on the start line getting ready to go. You'll see the countdown there, about 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go until the start. So look at the graphics. You'll see all the riders are locked into a little training system there, which is their smart trainer that allows them to warm up. Remember, very important for the ride. You'll see there, bicycles change lives. There it is. That is your start line. The riders are in the gate and good to go. Remember, although we've got a lot of riders in the game, we'll only be seeing pockets of 100 of those riders at a time. And right up at the front end there, look at all those Qhubeka shirts. Unbelievable. And please take note, ladies and gentlemen, of those Qhubeka bikes as well. So Zwift has been absolutely incredible in working with us and the team from NTT. Obviously, NTT just really changing the game when it comes to the consumption of data and visibility of cycling around the world, born from their relationship with the A.S.O and the likes of the Tour de France and the Giro d'Italia. That has obviously moved into the Zwift space as well. And now we've got these incredible datagistics which we can pull from the screen and give the viewer a very, very user-friendly experience. So very, very exciting. You'll see the Qhubeka hands on the shirts there. They're all ready to go, similar to the one you'll see Dougie Ryder wearing today. Those of you new to the Zwift platform is basically a virtual online platform. And what's exciting about this is it simulates the riding pretty much 100%. It's very different from the likes of playing FIFA soccer or playing World Cup rugby, where you're using your thumbs to engage in the game. Here what happens is the athletes are actually on bicycles in their pain caves at home, in their offices, wherever it is. That bicycle is logged into or locked into what we call a smart trainer, and via Bluetooth, that smart trainer is able to engage with the game. The different environments, the different worlds within the Zwift platform. They've just launched an incredible new world, have Zwift called Umenzi, which is absolutely amazing in Japan, just in time for the Olympic Games coming our way next month, which is absolutely exciting. And just the way that the progression of the platform continues to build is really, really exciting. And obviously with that progression comes statistics, comes datagistics, comes the ability for us as the fans at home and us for the consumer of the Zwift platform to be able to engage with, relate to, talk to, and obviously measure ourselves against our friends, because everybody knows how much we like a race. So coming at us from around the world, a very good evening to those of you just joining us. This is the NTT community ride for Qhubeka. And you'll see me here sitting in my green screen studio. I'm actually in the Netherlands in the moment, in Rotterdam, and we're chatting with people from all over the world. I know Dougie's in the Netherlands as well, Ash is in Spain, Mark's in Australia, Yann's in France, so all over the world, that's where we come into live. It's a real virtual celebration of World Bicycle Day. Let's get back to the start line. We're about to get started. You can see the countdown coming through. Let's get ready to watch them go off. So there it is, 28 seconds until the start. Remember, if you look at the top left-hand side, there's your distance, 27.8 kilometers. They haven't started yet, so no kilometers are showing. They're on lap 1 of 3. It's 3 laps of 9.1 kilometers with that hill climb coming early on. So be ready for that, guys, and make sure you go with a move. Listen to your team riders and work with them and get out there and have some fun. Celebrate World Bicycle Day with us. That's what it's all about. We're counting you down in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, there they go. We'll watch them. We'll stay on this big screen as we watch them moving off and get out onto the route. Super exciting for them. We're going to stay with the gameplay for the first couple of minutes of the ride, but there you see those Qhubeka bicycles. Absolutely amazing bicycles, mobilizing communities in Africa, and you'll see the simplicity, the pannier on the back, not only able for children to be able to lift a friend to school, but also to be after school to be able to do their chores, to carry food, to be able to carry the likes of water as well. It's very durable bike as well, very strong, very stable, maintenance free, back pedal brake, single speed, and you can see the guys getting out there. Dougie Ryder, as you would expect, has gone out like a scalded cat, and he's chasing the guys and girls down. You'll see Dougie in the top right-hand corner leading the way now. We've got Ashleigh just ahead of him, Mark Renshaw in 3rd, Tony Kannan in 4, and Yann Le Moenner in 5. They're all together, and look at all the different panniers on those bicycles. Nice to see the different colors of the riders on those panniers, and you'll see there, that is Mark Renshaw. You see that little fox head above him, that little arrow pointing down shows that he is one of the ride leaders, and the people need to make sure that they stay with him. So exciting racing up front. You'll see they're just on about 600 meters in at the moment, doing some decent mileage and some decent speeds as well, and only been riding for about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Just so that you know, the fastest time on this course is 10 minutes and 53 seconds for 1 lap. So that'll give you an idea that we're in for about 35 to 45 minutes here this evening. Those of you joining from around the world, thank you so much for joining in. Please don't forget to get on to the live stream and make sure that you send us information, comment, say hello, give shout outs, and say hi to your friends out there as well. We know there's a lot of you riding from around the world. Thank you so much for your incredible support for Qhubeka and all that all of you do for this incredible charity. And we're really excited to have you all join us here this evening. So moving nicely, you'll see there is the 6 of them all riding. You'll see Ash in the middle. There's Mark top right. We've got Yann bottom left. We've got Tony middle bottom. And there's Doug. So they all look good, and everyone seems to be having a good time. I think what we're going to do straight away is get across and have a chat with Ash. I think that's the best thing to do. It's the right thing to do, seeing as though she is the right leader. And because she's probably the fittest out of the 5 of these riders, we want to get her as she's going into that hill. So let's do that. Ash, of course, great to have you, South African, living in obviously Spain, and our current, very proud of you, world champion in the UCI Esports Cycling World Championships on Zwift last year. Ash, tell us a bit about how it's going there. What's happening on the ride?
Well, this is the exact point I was attacking to win the world title, so it's bringing back some good memories. But yeah, the guys are all keeping a good pace. We stay together as a group, which is always nice. And yeah, just enjoy being on this ride.
Ash, take us through a little bit about how it's going with you. Obviously, congratulations on your selection for the Olympic Games for South Africa. You must be stoked about that.
Yeah, of course. Really honored to be selected for my 3rd Olympic Games. Yeah, really to be on the start line, representing South Africa and Japan, and going for an Olympic medal. So yeah, preparation is going well, and motivation is super high.
Ash, it's obviously been quite difficult through COVID, obviously having goals for the Olympics, then having been told, hang on guys, it's postponed for a year, and then from your side having to reorganize your schedules, reorganize your training, reorganize your calendar, and get set for another year. How do you deal with that mentally?
Yeah, well, I mean, cycling is actually a very challenging sport because we often hit with obstacles and we have to find our way through them. So COVID was a really big obstacle, but no different really to an injury or something like that. So Olympic Games was the immediate motivation to keep going, and that's what kind of motivated me to get onto the indoor platform because I had a really hard lockdown in Spain. And then when that disappeared, of course, you have to restructure, find new. But luckily at that stage, I was already really hooked on the Zwift racing. And so I just changed my mentality and really embraced it. And I'm really proud of how I managed to change adversity into opportunity and win the world title.
Oh, absolutely. I've got to tell you, I was watching from home in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and I went absolutely mental because I saw you get away on that climb. And I just saw, you know, when you've got that bit between your teeth, no one was going to catch you. It was an incredible day. So again, congratulations. Well done. What a feeling. What was it like when you crossed the line and you realized, hang on, I've actually won 2 jerseys. I get one in game and then I can wear one on my trainer at home.
Yeah, it was super special. I mean, it's still something that people are kind of getting their heads around, you know, this new discipline, esports. But yeah, I was really proud of it. I've always dreamt of being a world champion. It's a little bit difficult coming from a country like South Africa where we don't really have the depth in support on the road in terms of teams for world champs. So finally, you know, my dream came true and it was just super special.
Absolutely. Ash, let's talk a bit about training and statistics and data and just how important that is to you. Obviously, you know, you've got a coach, you've got someone working with you all the time, but, you know, when you're in the Zwift platform, you get to see that directly a lot of the time. And there's been so many advancements in the technology of the Zwift platform. And also, you know, the training sessions are a lot shorter, a lot more powerful. Tell us a bit about your experience there, how you've incorporated the actual Zwift riding and Zwift racing into your calendar and your training.
Well, I mean, I've always really appreciated data. I actually studied chemical engineering before I turned pro. So, you know, that's part of my life, really. And, you know, I mean, I managed to get into pro cycling based on data. You know, so through a power test, that's how I managed to get the ticket to pursue a career as a professional cyclist. But, yeah, it's amazing to see how, over the years, and just to see, you know, a platform like Zwift, it's absolutely incredible how, you know, we can all be in all different parts of the world and riding together like this in the virtual world. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of benefits of training indoors, especially when you have super structured workouts. You know, it's quick. You get out on your bike. There's no like traffic that you get out of the town. You can get straight to work, and especially work and stuff like that. I use Zwift a lot. And it also helps me as a climber to work a bit more on my boost power, because that I would say is more of my weakness. So to really be pushing the power on this platform, on the indoor trainer, is really beneficial for the road racing. So yeah, I mean, I usually do 1 session a week on Zwift, and then the others outdoors. I haven't really raced much on Zwift this year because the race calendar has been quite demanding. But I hope to get back to racing in October on the virtual platform.
All right. And Ash, lastly, just one more question for you quickly, if we can. Obviously, the first women's Paris-Roubaix happening a little bit later this year. What are your thoughts on the gender progression in cycling? It really has come a long way very quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. The COVID year was actually a great year for women's cycling. Zwift were really fantastic in the way that they prioritized gender equality. But yeah, just to see a Paris-Roubaix for women is also really amazing. You know, I come again referring to my engineering background, where I studied a male-dominated degree, but never really felt that there was inequality. You know, I was always respected by my peers and we worked well together. So coming into cycling, it was a bit of a shock, you know, to see the gender disparity. And so to, you know, in the early parts of my career, that was really frustrating. But But I learned very quickly that letting that frustration get to you is not productive. So I switched to kind of leading by example, and that's why I became more vocal in the media. But to see that women's cycling has taken such big steps forward is really amazing for us. And thanks to those that have prioritized women's cycling, Zwift, NTT, just putting their power behind us and helping to move us forward.
All right, Ash, thanks so much. Keep going on the ride. Let's cut back to the Zwift racing in-game. Let's see what's going on there and how everyone's doing. Let's cut to full screen on that and see what's happening. So there you see, guys and girls, they are 22 kilometers from the finish line. A lot of hustle and bustling going on there on those Qhubeka bikes. And have a look at that. You'll see the ride-ons coming through to the riders. And those, of course, in the form of the Qhubeka hand, which is absolutely fantastic. Those little ride-ons dropping into the pockets of the riders, showing the high five. Remember, Qhubeka is all about a hand up, not a hand out. And that is really, really exciting to see. So they're on the first lap now. They're just over 10 minutes in. And they'll be sort of doing those switchbacks, making their way down to the finish line. You should see those volcanoes coming in. There's some statistics for you as well. You can see Tony Kannan going very, very nicely. They're pushing some decent watts as well and looking very good out there. We've got Ash in front, fourth, and Mark Renshaw in fifth place. So that's how it stands at the moment. Obviously, everything going well on the Watopia Hilly route, and nice to see those rider standings coming along so nicely. So well done, guys. Everyone's doing an incredible job. We hope you're enjoying the ride with us. What we're going to do now is we're going to take you through to a little video, and that, of course, of Zipanetli. This will remind us of just how important these donations are for Qhubeka and just what incredible work they do on the continent of Africa by mobilizing people with bicycles. Take a look at this.
My name is Zipanetli Sihlam, and I'm 20 years old. I school at Tumling High School. So where do I live? I live at A.S.O, nearby the clinic, a place called Mangwane. So I used to travel with my own barefoot to school, walking about 55 minutes. So Qhubeka sponsored us have donated bicycles to my school to help us walk this, to travel along this long distance. So they've done a best for us. So now I've only traveled for 15 minutes. It's better than before. That's why bicycles have given me a lot. I can study, do everything. I get a lot of time for doing my own things, studying and going to sports. But for now, what I'm pursuing, I'm trying to pursue my future, making things to be better for my family. This has given me a better opportunity to do so. What I can say to Qhubeka, I can say thank you for all your help, for your donations. Please do it for others.
All right, fantastic to hear those stories, and just so good to see what a massive difference that Qhubeka is making. Let's go quickly and have a look at the donation page for you. This, of course, get your phones out, get your cameras on, and quickly get ready to scan this QR code. Remember, that'll take you straight through into the Give and Gain platform. And from there, you can go in and donate while you're riding your bicycle or while you're watching at home on the couch with friends and family. Please, guys and girls, it is Bicycle Day. It is World Bicycle Day, and this is an incredible charity to support on this very, very special day. Next up, what we're going to do before we go into our next guest is quickly show you some of the action from Ashleigh Moolman Pasio and her UCI Esports Cycling World Championship win last year. Have a look at this.
As the announcement came about the first ever Esports World Championships, I thought, well, I want it, but I'm really happy and really proud that I managed to turn what was a very difficult and negative situation into a really big positive by embracing virtual cycling and ending off the year by being the first ever Esports World Champion.
A superb demonstration.
With NTT, we've worked to create this new value that's super interesting and super unique to Zwift. This is a concept where, through data we can capture how efficient a rider is. by looking at the Zwift efficiency rating, you can tell that there is real skill involved.
These numbers were everything, in terms of the virtual world, because it's essentially all these numbers that power the avatar, to literally to move forward.
There you have it, a whole new way of racing and a brand new world champion in a brand new cycling code. Can you believe it? I don't know if those of you know, but did you know that cycling actually has 5 sporting codes at the Olympic Games, which is something quite exciting to know. Next up, we're going to introduce to you our next guest. Have a look at this slide. This is Mark Renshaw. Mark, great to have you joining us this evening. Ex-Pro Cyclist from Team Dimension Data for Qhubeka, intricately involved with Qhubeka and experiencing Qhubeka firsthand. So very, very excited to have him with us. And what we're going to do is cut across to Mark and bring him into the conversation. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Max. It's 4 a.m. here in Australia, so we've passed World Bicycle Day, but geez, I'm super excited. First time riding on Zwift at 4 a.m., but proud to be here. Big thanks to NTT for having me back this year. Also, as you mentioned, raising funds for Qhubeka. So, and with the whole host of great names online here with us.
Mark, thanks so much for getting up out of bed this morning. I don't know how you kept the kids quiet. That's always the difficult one for me. And I hope you managed to get a cup of coffee in before you got on the bike at least.
No, I slipped out of the house very quietly this morning down to the office. The dog's the problem, not the kids. So the puppy dog thought it was time to wake up. But look, no matter what the time, it's always the perfect time to jump on the bike. So what better way to start the day?
Absolutely. Mark, an incredible career on the bike. Obviously, your love for the bike, being able to be taken through into that career. And obviously, later on in your career, experiencing and working with Team Dimension Data, with Dougie, with Qhubeka. Tell us about your experiences as a cyclist in Team Dimension Data and your experiences specifically with Qhubeka.
Yeah, look, I had a great career and I worked with some great people, and my final team, Dimension Data, which was NTT and has now moved on to Qhubeka Assos, was it was a great way to end my career. And as you mentioned, I had the opportunity to go to South Africa with the team, go into a village and see the difference that a Qhubeka bike can make. And I had the chance to do a couple of handovers where you give bikes out to the community, to young boys, young girls, families, and it makes a huge difference. So it's very life-changing for myself from Australia to go over, see the situation over there and the difference that a Qhubeka bike, a Buffalo bike, can make.
Mark, we talk about the difficult times over lockdown and over COVID, and obviously you're at the end of your career, but you've obviously seen some amazing things, and obviously you've got lots and lots of experience. What do you think? I asked the question earlier to Ash, how has this affected the pro teams? Because logistically, it's an absolute nightmare to travel at the moment, is it? I mean, the teams are just doing such an incredible job. And if we speak about the sports around the world, cycling has been at the forefront. We've seen them, the guys have pioneered, they've made it happen, haven't they?
They have. It's been absolutely amazing. Here in Australia, we're under not so much lockdown in home, but the country is very locked down. So not much chance of getting back to Europe and being on the ground there and supporting the teams and being part of it now I've retired. So to watch from Australia, seeing the racing going ahead and seeing how they're handling it and the case numbers are low, I think it's just amazing that each country and each organiser have made sure the races are going ahead to give something to the people at home to watch, support and follow.
Absolutely, Mark. Well, listen, keep going on your ride. We're going to catch up with you a little bit later. Don't forget, everyone, if you want to chat with Mark or ask some questions, please do so via the YouTube platform. Mark, enjoy the ride, and whatever you do, do not let Dougie Ryder beat you.
I will, Max.
All right. What a gentleman. Absolutely incredible to catch up with these guys all over the world. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the profile of two other incredible athletes and also just people who are just doing so much for the sport of cycling. The first one, of course, is Dougie Ryder. And the next one, next to him there, you'll see Yann Le Moenner. Yann Le Moenner, of course, the CEO of the A.S.O, the Amaury Sports Organization. And, of course, Dougie Ryder, the team principal of Team Qhubeka Assos. Welcome, gentlemen. It's fantastic to have you both. We're going to go in and chat to both of them at the same time, split the screen up a little bit. I'll ask them questions independently and we can take it from there. Yann, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm super happy to be with you. Today is very special for me tonight because we are with three great partners, which are Zwift, Qhubeka, and TT. And I love the story. First time I heard about Qhubeka, I will always remember is Doug in my office. At the time, he was not even Pro Continental. He was just Continental, and he came to the office. And he's such a good storyteller that I can feel on my arms, the passion he had and the whole story about changing life. And I have to say that was really the big start of the whole thing. And I realized how professional team could be of some great help, not only to win race, but to change life. And when talking
Absolutely.
about Zwift, I'm such a big fan on running a lot on Zwift, and I'm so happy that today Zwift is also changing life for real, which is also very good.
All right. Well, Yann, fantastic to have you. We hope that you're enjoying the ride. Let's cut across to Dougie. Dougie, you've got quite an introduction there. I know you're in the Netherlands as well. How hot has it been in the Netherlands for the last few days?
Yeah, it's been incredibly hot. 29 degrees. The days are long, which is beautiful. Yann and I actually spoke the other day saying that how, Europe has had its worst 35 days or the worst May in many, many years. So, yeah, it's absolutely, we've got some nice weather today.
Doug, I think let's start with you and obviously this incredible journey that you've been through. Let's talk a bit about Qhubeka and what it means to you, not only as a team principal, but to your riders as well.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, Qhubeka, I've known Anthony Fitzhenry a long time and I worked in IT. I would have worked for him for free. Loved his passion, loved his story, loved the impact that he makes. And I always wanted to use our team and our platform in races like Tour de France, biggest races in the world, to do good things. And I think Qhubeka changes people's lives every day. We love to embrace that, love to, get our riders to believe in it. I mean, you heard Victor Campenaerts' interview after the Giro stage when his first in a Grand Tour and a World Tour race and what it meant to him, knowing, that his victory has an opportunity to change somebody else's life. So that's just beautiful. It gives us purpose, gives us a reason to get up every day. Cycling, such a hard sport. You lose much more than you win. And when you've got another thing to ride for, it just makes it all worthwhile. So Qhubeka is an incredible organization. Yann and A.S.O has embraced it as well, as has the UCI. It's just making such an impact. So beautiful to see.
Dougie, we talk about the number three wins at the Giro d'Italia. We've got 3 weeks to go to the Tour de France. How is the team looking and how's the selection going and how's the feeling in the camp and how's the Ubuntu within the camp leading into this year's Tour de France?
Well, we had our second best Grand Tour just now last week at the Giro. Our best, Grand Tour was the Tour de France 2016 after our incredible 2015 Mandela Day win. So, we have an amazing team. We have riders that committed to being with us. And, we rescued this team so late at the end of last year. And it was so beautiful to sit in the peloton this year with the hands on the jersey, the Qhubeka name, across our chest and on our backs. Absolutely. So, we have an incredible group of riders building up for the race now and racing the Dauphiné next week. make our final selection on June 13th, and then hopefully we'll have a nice surprise for Yann and the race, and a surprise for our team in terms of our lineup. It'll be beautiful.
Really?
Well, you heard it here, guys.
When are you going to announce that?
All right.
Probably the 14th of June.
Okay, good.
Done. I'll tell you before. I know you can keep a secret.
Where are you on the ride?
Yann, I think...
Behind you.
Okay.
If you wait for me, I'll tell you.
Yann, I think let's ask... let's ask you the same question. How's everything going on your side? 3 weeks to go to France, obviously a well-oiled machine. How's everything going on your side?
You know, every single day is positive in a way that I have to say that we learned a lot from last year. As you say in the introduction, I mean, it has been, really a teamwork. And when talking about team, it's every single stakeholder of cycling, the teams, the riders, the UCI, the organizers, everybody played together, and we saw the results. We were probably one of the best sports, handling this pandemic, and we could be all very, happy and proud about that. And when looking at this year's situation, of course, it's getting better and better, every day. So, 2 years ago, I've been a turnkey for the Tour de France, where we want to make sure that we are as useful as we can, because we need to change, basically to help to change the world to become more bicycling friendly, and to this regard, Qhubeka is definitely, matching this ambition. So somehow, what we decided last year is that every single rider of the Tour de France is going to give a bike to one of the kids of Qhubeka. So the World Pack, there will be each year a donation, so that we can guarantee that every rider, once again, is going to give a bike to a kid to change their life.
Brilliant. Brilliant news, Yann. Thank you. Yann, also, I think just quickly, one more question for you. Obviously, a super successful, very first virtual Tour de France last year on Zwift. The team at Zwift working closely with the A.S.O, putting together the event. Do you see more of that happening? Will we see a Tour de France virtual in this year, in 2021?
Well, first of all, I was so happy last year that we partnered with Zwift, because we simply partner with the best. And that was, again, something fantastic for us. Somehow, NTT again shows the way, because they launched the year before their, NTT Zwift Academy, and to scout talents, which shows how, the platform is strong. And it was also as you can imagine, very challenging to set up that event, to put the pros on the turbo, because Ashleigh would know that better than me, but it's very specific and it's very hard. And it was a lot of discussion with the teams, but at the end, everybody played by the game, which is just great. And there was again a before and an after the first Tour de France on Zwift. So do I see more those kind of events for real? I don't know, but for sure, I mean, there is a very good combination on cycling on the platform of Zwift, and today again is a perfect example.
All right, thank you very much, Doug. I don't know if you realize, but I'm keeping.
I was about to say that it's very realistic, because when we go for a program with Doug, he's always somewhere, hiding in the car, and today there is no car, so he's in trouble.
Doug, I'm trying to keep Yann talking as much as possible so you can catch up. I don't know if you saw that, so I'm doing the best I can.
Interview him on the uphill.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Let's get back to studio, see what's going on in the hilly route in Watopia, everybody. Let's get back to that and see exactly how the guys are doing. Let's see what's happening at the front end there. You'll see Yann now really taking the lead there at the moment. He's got in ahead of Ashleigh. We've got Doug in third place, Tony Kannan in 4th, and Mark Renshaw in 5th place. So that's what's happening at the moment out on the route. So really, really cool to see the guys having fun. Let's just have a look at that racing at the moment. You can see Ashleigh's little group here all together, 20 Ks in. So they've only got about 10 Ks to go. And the racing really good at the moment. They've been riding for 30 minutes, only 7.4 Ks to go. You'll see top left-hand side. There's that little Qhubeka hand coming in there. And exciting to see. All right, next up, our next guest for you, ladies and gentlemen. So excited to have him with us, and a little bit odd to have someone who is in INDYCAR racing joining us for a cycling event. So let's, without further ado, go across to the profile of Tony Kannan. There he is, the INDYCAR driver, and from Chip Ganassi Racing, Brazilian, and just doing such incredible work. He's been around for a long time. He's been racing a car for a long time. It took him 12 years before he won his first Indy 500. Let's go across and start having a chat with him quickly. Obviously, let's see where Tony is. Tony, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going, Tony?
I'm suffering like crazy. It's a lot easier to drive a race car, but I got dropped with a little bit of a Bluetooth connection trouble, so trying to catch up with Ashleigh. But what an awesome event. Cycling has been part of my entire career and made me a better race car driver. So I usually say my racing car driver career gets in the middle of my want to be a cyclist, but I love cycling. Thanks NTT for the opportunity, and Qhubeka for obviously doing this thing to help the kids in Africa. So happy to be here.
Fantastic, Tony. Great to have you. Obviously, NTT, title sponsor of the INDYCAR series in the US, delivering smart solutions for the fan experience, as well as the predictive race analytics. So very, very involved in that. How have you seen the progression of INDYCAR racing with regards to data, stats, data logistics? How has that, as a driver, been beneficial to you?
I mean, we have live telemetry in the cars the entire time we're running at the cars. But what was interesting, 2 years ago, NTT created a shirt with some sensors that I could actually have it inside the car while I was driving, which, you know, the car is extremely tight. So we're not like cyclists that we can wear heart rate monitors. We can acquire some data from the athlete. It's always about the data from the car. And so with that shirt, I was able to actually get exactly what was going on while I was doing a 500-mile IndyCar race at 400 kilometers an hour. So what happened then, since then, I've been able to actually work out on my bike, on Zwift, on the heart rate range that actually I achieved while I was racing. So it became a lot more productive. So I can't thank NTT enough for all that data, especially for myself, because obviously I'm sponsored by them. I was the only driver wearing that shirt, so I got the upper hand on the other guys.
Tony, let's just talk about that Indy 500 win of yours. It took you 12 years to get that win, and it's just there's just so many things that can go wrong on the day of an Indy race. Tell us a bit about the emotions getting across that finish line and taking that win, and also a little bit about, you know, what makes the Indy 500 so special.
Well, to talk about the Indy 500 is the Tour de France or the Olympics for any athlete that is involved with the sport. And the Indy 500 has been around for more than 100 years. It's a race that when you win it, you become a legend. For me, it has a special meaning because when I was very young, I started racing. I was 8 years old with my dad. And my dad got sick, cancer, and actually passed away when I was 13. And he made me promise him that one day I was going to win the Indy 500 for him. So it took me 12 years. We went against all the odds. And I think every athlete in this room, there's so many pros that I'm having the pleasure to ride with that knows what I'm going to talk about, is people trying to tell you that it was never going to happen and that you're not good enough or you tried too many times already. And I hope that sends a message not just to the athletes, but also to these young kids that we're trying to help. There's always hope and there is always believe in yourself. So very special win for me that day. Obviously, I fulfilled the promise that I made to my dad, and that win definitely changed the course of my career. You know, that was the race that I wanted to win, and I finally did it.
Oh. All right, Tony. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to try and get back to you a little bit later. Good luck with the ride and keep on going, man. It's incredible to have you join us. Let's get back to the Zwift racing. We're nearly close to the finish now. Let's go and see what's going on. Here we go. So 23.2 kilometers in, about 4.6 Ks to go. And here comes a big climb. You can see Yann Le Moenner really working hard as he makes his way up the climb. He's in the lead ahead of Ashleigh Moolman. This is the final climb. You've got Dougie Ryder in third, Tony in four, Mark in five. That is the standings at the moment. You can see the data that's been pushed out there as well. So these guys are moving very, very quickly as they make their way towards the finish. Incredible racing. News hot off the press that came in today, World Bicycle Day. Incredible news. Qhubeka Charity extends its Tour de France partnership with A.S.O. So that has come in hot off the press, which is very, very exciting. And congratulations to all involved in making that happen. So well done and really, really good to see. What we're going to do now is we're going to stay on Zwift, but if anyone has any questions for the riders, if you can please send those comments through to us, and then what we can do is ask a couple of questions to the riders before they get through to the end of the race. You'll see the in-game here. You'll see Ashleigh there leading out the crew as they make their way down that hill. A little bit of a gradient there. You can see the data coming through. It's still Yann in one, Ash in two, Doug in three, Tony four, Mark in five. Send questions our way, and let's see what we've got. I've got two questions here coming through. One is for Ash, and one is for Mark. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's have a look and see if there's an opportunity to ask those questions. Now, I think maybe let's leave those questions for later because these guys have been racing very, very quickly indeed. So I think the big thing here is to try and get back to have a chat with Rob Webster quickly. Rob, of course, is the Vice President of Advanced Technology Group Sport at NTT. He's the wizard and the guru and the Gandalf behind these datagistics and what NTT is doing. And we're going to quickly just cross to him for a message and find out a little bit about the efficiency rating and how everything is going on Zwift and how quickly NTT and Zwift are working together and evolving the data for you, the fan, and for you, the subscription. Have a look at this.
Hi, Max, and welcome to everyone who's riding tonight. As everyone on the platform will be aware, Zwift allows you to get a view of your data right now from your smart bike, heart rate monitor, any other sensors you have connected to it. What NTT has enabled is to capture that data over the course of the entire event and allow that data to be turned into data-driven stories. So, for example, who's been generating the highest power, not only at this instant, but over the last 5 minutes, or who's got the highest heart rate since the start of the race. Sometimes that can be a pretty alarming number. The one I'm proudest of is called a Zwift efficiency rating. It measures how fast you're going for the amount of power you're putting in, and it really allows fans to see who is able to best take advantage of the platform, the drafting capability that Zwift enables, power-ups, and get the highest speed for the amount of effort. We were able to showcase that for the first time at the UCI Esports World Championships in December, and it's been on the Zwift Racing League since then. Really excited to be able to bring our expertise in data-driven storytelling from events like the Tour de France to esports platforms like Zwift. And it's fantastic to be able to enable people from around the world to engage with cycling through technology. So thanks, Max, and back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Rob, and just an absolute wizard. So cool to talk to him and just to see his passion, not only for cycling, but for the game. And remember, at the end of the day, Zwift is a game, and you've got to know how to play the game. It's not all about just putting out those massive watts. It's about learning about the game and the experience within the game and how to use those power-ups and how to use your efficiency and how to use your drafting. So all of those things very, very important. All right, so you'll see on the game now, the guys moving really, really quickly as they make their way towards the finish. I think quickly, let's go and have a look and have a quick chat. We've got two questions here. We've got a question for Ash and we've got a question for Mark. Let's bring them into the screen and ask these questions to them quickly. Hey guys, we've just had a chat with Tony and Tony's chasing you down, Ash, so we're not going to bring him into the conversation unless we get a question coming in. But Ash, a good ride today. Got a quick question for you. Going to the Olympic Games, obviously 2020, nice to see that your husband, Carl, has been appointed as the team manager. Is that a help or a hindrance?
No, it's definitely a help. I'm really grateful that he'll be joining. We make a really great team, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having him in the car behind the race, helping him to achieve that very important medal for South Africa, hopefully. So, feeling very blessed to be both be going there.
All right, thanks so much, Ash. Mark, a question for you, if I can. Obviously known as one of the best lead-out men in the business, been involved in the hustle and bustle, the elbow-to-elbow, handle-to-handlebar of the sprint. How much different is the in-game experience of sprinting compared to the actual real-world sprinting? And which is more difficult?
Oh, very, very, very different. In fact, on Zwift, look, my experience, my race craft could get me through in the real game, but here on Zwift, there's nowhere to hide. My experience doesn't count for much, and it's all performance. And unfortunately, I've lost.
Tony, quick question for you then. If you had to choose between the physicality between a Indy 500 race, 200 laps in the vehicle, or the Queen stage of the Tour de France, which one would you choose and why?
I would choose the Indy 500 because I have one pedal and I only have to press it. I don't have to do so much work.
That's a very good answer. All right, guys, let's go back to the race. Let's get back to the Zwift racing and see what's happening there before we get on to a final question with Yann and with Doug. You'll see the riders here. There's Ash going through that marker now. You can see they've got just on about 3.2 Ks to go, averaging around 25 kilometers an hour. Yann is still in the lead. Tony Kannan now moving up into second place. So Tony's been doing some sneaky training there, and he really is starting to put down the watts to the end. Ash down into third, Dougie Ryder in 4, and Mark Renshaw in 5. So that's what's happening at the moment. That's where they are as they go through the switchbacks. Let's quickly get across to Doug quickly and have a chat with himself and Yann. One more question for the both of them and see how they're doing. Doug, you've got to catch Yann. You realize he's 2 places ahead of you, right?
Yeah, I'll leave that for another day when I can put some Loctite in his bottom bracket.
Doug, let's talk quickly about the highs and lows, the roller coaster of the professional world of cycling. I mean, you know, as you say, not everyone can win on a day, and you've got to celebrate those victories, and you've got to high-five yourself in the face as possible when you get those victories and you have those great results. How do you hold on to those moments when you hit that trough and that roller coaster starts going down?
Yeah, you know, victories are the things that unite a whole team together, you know, from the chef to the bus driver to the coaches and the data analysts at home, you know, looking at everything. When you win, you have a plan, you've prepared your equipment, tire pressures, the science behind it all, your energy management, your nutrition, all of that stuff. When that's all dialed in and you win, everybody believes again. It just unites a team together incredibly. I think us, you know, talking about Ubuntu, I am because we are, and we cannot exist in isolation, which is our motivation, our statement of intent together as a team. It's beautiful. You know, the beautiful thing about cycling is that actually it's not all about money. You know, the engine sits inside you, so you can do anything if you put your mind to it, which is the beautiful thing about our sport. It's so unpredictable, always an opportunity, and it's beautiful. So those are the things that keep you going, that unite and connect the team. But for us, when times are tough, we ask each other why. You know, why are we here? What are we here to do? You know, why we work so hard. When we lose a rider like Pozzovivo in the Giro, you know, we connect together, look at our strengths, what we can do, and we unite under one plan. Don't hedge our bets, we commit to each other, and we go and smash it. And we were very fortunate in the Giro, and hopefully that'll continue into the Tour.
100% right. Yann, I think the same question for you possibly, but obviously from the other perspective, and that is the perspective of the event organizer. You know, what is it that keeps you so excited about the job that you do and the sport that you love so much?
Well, first of all, passion for sure, and then innovation. You know, and you know, I cannot stop that ride without mentioning the great job that NTT has been doing, you know, over the past, you know, almost 10 years now. They did such a great job. I mean, they helped the tour to become digital. Before NTT, at the time it was Dimension Data showed up, there was no live tracking on the race. And all of a sudden, we can see everything from those guys. You know, what they are. Incredible. What is the job of the, you know, the équipier. I know that kind of stuff. It's simply amazing. So yeah, innovation is definitely a driver, a key driver. Then, of course, as I mentioned before, the whole idea is also to help, you know, to change the world so that the world can become bicycling friendly. We did launch
Absolutely.
a new
Yann, I'm going to
program.
cut you. Yann, if I can. Sorry, Yann, I'm going to cut you off. You're about to win the race, and I don't want to miss it on Zwift. So I'm going to cut you off and come back to you. But you're about to win the race. I'm going to take you into Zwift quickly. Let's go there quickly, guys. All right. There it is, guys, coming through to the finish line. And really good to see Tony Kannan now. You can see him out there on his own going towards the finish. Yann Le Moenner is having an incredible ride here today, the CEO of the A.S.O. There he is there, moving really, really nicely. And he really has not surprised us, I must say, because when I first met him, I think 2016 at the Tour de France, he looks to be very fit and very capable. So Yann is in first. It looks like Dougie is now moved up to second, Ashleigh in third, Tony in four, and Mark Renshaw in five. That is your final positions here today. Guys, congratulations. Well done to Yann for taking the win ahead of Doug. Doug, you're going to have to pull that back sometime. We'll talk about that Loctite in his crank. Ashleigh, an incredible leader of the ride. Thank you so much. Tony, amazing to see you having so much fun on the bicycle, and we hope to see more of you on the bike. And then, of course, Mark Renshaw doing a great job of leading at the back as well. So congratulations to all of you. Well done. What an incredible ride. Just over 27 kilometers today, the Watopia Hilly route, 3 big climbs, and that last climb taken, of course, by Yann Le Moenner, the CEO of the A.S.O. What an amazing evening it's been, ladies and gentlemen. To all the riders who've taken part, we hope you've really enjoyed your ride with us today, the NTT Community Ride for Qhubeka. It's the first time that this has happened. What better time to do it than on World Bicycle Day today, the 3rd of June, mobilizing people on bicycles. That's what it's all about with Qhubeka. And let's quickly go across to that donation slide one more time for you guys and girls. A lot of you will be bent over on your handlebars in your pain cave right now, not knowing where your phone is, and we totally appreciate that. And we'll bring the QR code up one more time later on in the show. But remember that it is available for you. Check out the social media platforms, and we will be closing the donation platform with Give and Gain at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. So there it is. Congratulations to those of you who've been out there today, who've joined us here from around the world. Mark Renshaw joining us at 4 in the morning. It's 9 o'clock at night here in Rotterdam. We know that in the UK it's an hour earlier than that, and then of course just in America it's sort of early afternoon. So to those of you joining us from around the world, our Qhubeka family, a very big high five, a hand up, not a handout. That's what Qhubeka is all about. It's been incredible to have you join us here this evening, and we really are very stoked to have each and every one of you join us, and thank you for making will say so special today. So quickly, I think what is important is if you've enjoyed this ride, join the NTT Sports broadcast on the 7th of July at 12 CET. You'll be given an inside view into the world's biggest cycling event, everything from how the data is captured and delivered on your screen to the latest innovations and a pro cyclist view of the toughest stage of this year's Tour de France. Those who attend and take part in that on the 7th of July can also stand a chance to win 2 tickets on the ground at at next year's Tour de France in 2022. So check it out on the NTT events page, hello.global.ntt events. That's as simple as it is, and that's where we are. All right, guys and girls, so just quickly, let's have a quick look at what has been raised here this evening through the Give and Gain platform. $2,556 have been raised here this evening. That's 14 bicycles, everybody. So congratulations and well done. That is really a great effort in an hour. And remember that platform will remain open for you until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So nice and easy. And just scan that QR code. We'll put it up on the social media platforms too, and it'll remain there for you for that period of time. I think quickly, let's get a split and go across to all the ambassadors here if we can, so we can say good night, good morning, good afternoon, and thank you. Ash, Mark, Tony, Doug, and Yann, let's have a Qhubeka 5. Let's get that Qhubeka 5 up, everybody. Congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us. Yann, congratulations on your victory. Ash, you were an incredible leader. Mark, well done on looking after the guys at the back. I see you were sweeping today, Mark.
Yeah, I was coming from the back and currently, yeah, right down the back. So we got the
it was not a victory at all. I'm super embarrassed. Huh? I have so much respect for those guys. I was just playing with Doug, you know, and they had to. And Ashleigh was texting all the time. So, and you know, just telling the truth.
Tony, as a non. Yes, go, Yann, please.
Long life to Qhubeka, and keep doing well, and as long as partner with like NTT would help, I mean, and the Tour de France and Doug team, that would help, and let's all work together as a team, one team.
Thank you, Yann. Tony, from you, a final message this evening, Tony?
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I'm a huge cycling fan. I hope we were able to help Qhubeka raising some money for the kids. I mean, riding a bicycle is the best thing in the world. I can't say I love more than racing cars, but it's right there.
Hey, Tony, you're very welcome on the Tour de France if you are sometimes in Europe, huh?
Brilliant.
Guys to bring you. I want to come to one stage for sure.
Make sure that
Brilliant.
You tell us, and we host you for sure.
I will.
Brilliant.
You can join us in our team bus.
Doug. Nice one, Doug. Doug, a final message from you there quickly.
Yeah, look, thanks to everybody for supporting Qhubeka, supporting our team. You know, being a purpose-led team is something that's really beautiful, and it's so, you know, everybody is suffering, humanity is suffering, the world is struggling. You know, we need to unite and connect together and look after each other. We cannot exist alone. So, yeah, thanks to everybody that supported us, that supported cycling, that loves to ride a bike, to stay fit and healthy and be outdoors. So, yeah, long may that last, and that we can all ride safely together. It'll be great. It's great. Thanks.
Fantastic, Doug, and please pass on our good luck wishes to your team, and obviously good luck with your final selection of the team leading into the Tour de France. We're excited to hear about those new developments come 13th, 14th of June, but have a great evening and continue doing what you're doing. Your tenacity is something that's inspiring, and we love the Qhubeka Assos team, and we'll certainly be rooting for you guys come the 26th of June. Thanks so much, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, from your side, thanks so much for being such an incredible ride leader, or should we say ride sweep today. Obviously early morning and things getting started a little bit slowly for you. A message from you, Mark, and just quickly to the peeps out there, just a shout out possibly.
Yeah, no, quickly, I'd like to thank NTT for inviting me on this ride today. It's really, I'm really proud from my point to still have an association, especially with Qhubeka. Also Tour de France and Zwift. So Australia's a long way from Europe, but as long as I can keep getting on Zwift and participating in events like this, help raising funds for Qhubeka. I absolutely don't mind waking up at 4 a.m. and coming and joining everyone for this ride.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. As always, absolute pleasure. What a gent. And hopefully you can get back into bed and have a sleep. Cheers, Mark.
No
and then
chances,
last but not least, let's go across to our ride leader, Ashleigh Moolman Pasio. Let's have a current and quick chat with her, obviously our 2020 world champion on Zwift for the UCI Esports. Ash, a great ride this evening. Thanks for joining us from Rocacorba in Spain. Thanks so much for all the work you put in, and thanks for being such a great advocate, ambassador for not only the sport of cycling, but the sport of women's cycling. It's been incredible to have you.
Yeah, thanks. It's been really great. Shout out, of course, to NTT for putting this ride together, and Zwift obviously for supporting. Also, a quick shout out to the A.S.O. It was really great to have Yann on the ride, and the women's peloton can't wait for the Tour de France in 2022. So we're super excited. And then, thanks to everyone who joined on World Bicycle Day. What a great way to celebrate by raising funds for such an awesome charity like Qhubeka. I've seen firsthand how Watopia bikes impact the lives of the children in Africa, and it's really amazing to see what a change it makes for them. So thanks everyone, and keep donating.
All right, absolutely, Ash. Thanks so much. We hope that you have a great evening. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a little video for you. The video is called From Today, and this is exactly why Qhubeka does what it does and just how important this charity is at grassroots with mobilizing people with bicycles on the African continent. Have a look at this.
From today, I'm going to get to school quicker.
From today, I'm gonna follow my dreams.
From today, I will care for more people.
From today, I will grow my business.
From today, I will have more time to play.
There it is, everybody. Qhubeka, bicycles change lives. And from today, let's make sure that every day is World Bicycle Day. What an incredible evening. It's been absolutely amazing to host this for you. And we hope that you all enjoyed the ride with us, whether you were riding or spectating or just a fan of the sport or a fan of Qhubeka. A very big thank you once again to our incredible guests here today, to Ashleigh, to Mark, to Doug, to Yann, and obviously to Tony. Thanks so much for joining in. We really have enjoyed this time with you, and we know how busy your schedules are, so we really do appreciate that. To end off this evening, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go across to the QR code for you. And while we do that, we're going to get ready to sign out for the evening and wish you all well on this World Bicycle Day. Myself, it's still light here in Holland. It's just on over 9 o'clock at night. I think it's 2 minutes to 9. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get on my bicycle and I'm going to go for a ride because it's light here until 10:30 at night. And as Doug spoke about earlier, it is summer here in Europe and it's a beautiful day. I cannot wait to get out on my bike. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. A last chance for you to scan that QR code and donate. That will be available until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Let's try and get some more bicycles for Qhubeka. From my side, thank you so much for joining us, and really don't forget that hand up, not a handout. Get involved with the Qhubeka charity. Check it out on www.qhubeka.org. On behalf of NTT and from the team at Qhubeka, from all our guests and myself, Max Kleur, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all again soon somewhere on your bicycle. Good night.